Hi, it's Anthony Meisner with Land Title. I wanted to bring you our Greater Denver Metro update for November. And there's a lot going on here in October data. So what we really wanted to talk most about was just the seasonality in the market and just the shift into fall, right? And so what does a fall market look like? What does this resemble, right? We're still seeing some pretty good price appreciation, even though inventory really has been stacking up over the years. And we definitely are seeing that kind of slowdown in the under contracts and the sold. So that being said, we're still up 8.5% on our average sold price. Our active units are up 93% from this time last year, but we were scraping the bottom of the barrel then. And this is a good sign for the market. It's bringing a little bit of health back into it. And if you're a buyer, at least you have something to look at, right? And you definitely are able to negotiate just a little bit more than you were a year ago. Now, if we look at it from kind of a county perspective, you can see here that if you look at it, certain counties are up significantly more in inventory than others. So places like Douglas, Adams, Arapahoe County have had triple-digit year-over-year appreciation, which they're finally back to maybe some healthier levels. Some of the other places, though, like Elbert or Denver, have not had the inventory swings like we've seen in other places. So that being said, every market varies quite pretty extreme, right? Now, here's the other thing. One of the most important parts of a fall market is our month supply of inventory is, even in a rising inventory market like we're in right now, is actually going to fall off a little bit because people start making different decisions in the fall, over the holidays, that sort of thing. So even though we don't have a ton going under contract, we start to see people pulling stuff off of the market. Now we're at 1.6 months of inventory. This is not very much inventory. Just because it's a little bit more than we've had over the last 2 years doesn't mean we're anywhere near where we would see in years past. So with that all kind of in consideration, assume that this is like your window of opportunity as a buyer to go out and find something and get maybe a little bit of a bargain, as we might say. Barely, right? But at least you're going to be able to go out and get something under contract and take advantage of the situation we're in. As a seller, this is still a really good time to sell real estate, right? We're going to probably November, December are going to be a little slow, but once you enter the spring market, it's off to the races, which is always a really good sign. Now, if you look at the days in the MLS, this is active to under contract. Our active to under contract numbers are barely above the last 2 years, and they're going to trend up from here because they usually trend up towards January, but we're nowhere near pre-pandemic numbers. So stuff is moving really, really consistently. If you're a seller and you price something right, even in November, December, it's still going to sell because it's going to move very quickly. Basically because the speed of the process has increased so much through the COVID years. One thing I wanted to talk a little bit about was by price point what's happening, because not everything is created equal, right? Cost of money has made it very difficult to purchase lower end properties because buyers in those average or median price ranges are much more price sensitive to their payment. Where if you look at the luxury market, you can see here the luxury market has been booming all year despite the cost of money because people value Colorado and they see, the resilience in the market of Colorado. So only the lower end of the market has really seemed to suffer from these rising interest rates. Now, a lot of inventory has risen over the course of the year. You can really see it pretty much anywhere from 500 to 2 million, where we've seen these, 100+% increases in our active units. But even in the 3+ million market, we still have had a lot of inventory come to market. Now, the lower end of the market, there's just not as much of it, right? So if a house that was 300,000 is now 400,000, you just don't have much of that market left. So that's why we haven't seen a ton of inventory there. If we look at it by month supply of inventory, you can see how extreme that is, where the lower end of the price range still has less than a month of inventory in many cases, or right around a month of inventory, which is just not enough, right? It's just very frictional at that point, and you're seeing it move in, 25, 27 days. That being said, this is still, buyers that are out there are still really aggressive and really hungry looking for property. It's amazing to see it in the 3 million range where it's 15 days average days on market where there's 6 months of inventory. So if you list a house right, it's buttoned up, it's priced appropriately, it's definitely going to get attention from buyers out there in the marketplace looking. If it's overpriced, it's just going to sit. And we're starting to see that in the market quite consistently. Let's take a look at number of total sales. This is a number that, across the state of Colorado, we've really seen this number shift. We're down 37% year over year, so compared to last October. But a lot of that being we're seeing some real seasonality come back into the marketplace. The other part of that, a lot of economic uncertainty with rising interest rates and just kind of what else is happening, what else is going on. So with those two coupled facts, you're really starting to see that seasonal shift take place a little earlier, and you're just seeing, sellers step back or buyers step back from even participating in the process and waiting to see what's going on next year. Let's talk a little bit about average sold price. Average sold price is one of those where we feel like we're chasing the price down, right? It kind of has felt this way since that May timeframe or so. And as we've kind of chased prices down, where does that leave us? Well, it leaves us still 10% up for the year. Things went up so quickly in the springtime that it was very unsustainable, and we've kind of fallen off of that, but not even close to where we were last year, right? Because we're still up, we're still in a very healthy increase. Now, that's something to really pay attention to because some of these markets are doing remarkably well still. Look at Elbert County, 15% increase. Adams County, 17% increase. You have places like Denver that's only at a 2% increase year over year. So submarket to submarket, it's going to make a little bit of a difference how fast some of them recovered from some of those extreme bidding wars in the springtime, and others are just kind of staying resilient, right? You see it a lot in a lot of the markets on the Front Range where really desirable places might stay closer to zero for a while and then boom in the big markets, where other markets like maybe Adams County, where people want to move there but the price point's a little bit better, it might do better in a market like this. If you want to look at the number of, let's just look at this one, the percentage sold price to list price. This is where I've been talking about this a lot. In a fall market is your place to, as a buyer, go out, get some good negotiations, maybe get a little bit of a deal on a property. We're talking about 98.6%, but it's still the lowest number that we've seen since about 2014. So if you're looking to get into a home and you're having a hard time qualifying, or you're having a hard time, competing in the marketplace, this might be the right time to do it, because this fall is technically a bargain, quote unquote, compared to other markets in the past. But I mean, you can see just how dramatic 2021 and 2022 were. Now, you haven't seen these type of numbers ever before, so expect that we're kind of normalizing into a normal fall. If you have any other questions, I'm Anthony with Land Title. Just wanted to bring you a quick update for all of our numbers in October, and we'll catch you on the next update. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.